flash knockouts to 5-round wars, going to battle in the octagon can push a fighter's body to its limits, and sometimes beyond. Whether you're slipping a jab, throwing a hook, or loading up a haymaker, we wanted EA Sports UFC's fighting engine to show off the same fluidity you'd see in a real fight, and that starts from the ground up. You won't see our fighters sliding or skating across the canvas. Instead, their feet will actually press into the surface of the octagon. Transfer that power into a strike and send the opposition reeling with a perfectly placed blow. Not only will they feel it, but you'll be able to see it as you send a shockwave rippling through their body. But don't forget, striking isn't the only way for you to put the hurt on your opponents. Sink into submission and watch a fighter struggle as you strain their limbs or constrict their circulation. Our new full-body deformation system means that flesh displaces flesh. Muscles contort and skin flushes to help create a greater sense of urgency than ever before. Fighting with a plan in EA Sports UFC makes all the difference. Overexert yourself too early, and you'll end up gassed for the later rounds, meaning your technique gets sloppy and strikes pack less power. Rather than only sustaining incremental damage and seeing progressive change, one well-placed blow now has the ability to devastate and open up a fighter. Thousands of hours went into making sure our fighters look their best, but whether or not they stay that way is up to you. Not every win is pretty, and sometimes you've got to pay the price if you want to be the best. Stay tuned for more Dev Diaries as we break down our striking and submission gameplay and take a look at the living world of EA Sports UFC. Feel the fight for yourself when EA Sports UFC drops this spring.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
His concepts, he's just so deep. So deep. I mean, the things us martial arts draw from today, he came up with a lot of that stuff. Like, where do you come up with this stuff?
Bruce Lee is the man. Bruce Lee is the reason why most of these guys are in mixed martial arts. I mean, he's the first guy that actually got to be, thought of as, the baddest dude in the world.
You ask any fighter out there growing up who their inspiration was, everybody says Bruce Lee.
When you're fighting as Bruce Lee, we want to make sure you feel that speed, that power, that agility that he was known for. We want to make sure that when you're controlling Bruce Lee inside the octagon, you feel like the dragon.
The Gracies were founding fathers of the actual UFC, but I think the sport of mixed martial arts was started by Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's movies, Bruce Lee's philosophies, just Bruce Lee's image alone is very powerful.
I think he was one of them guys that made martial arts mainstream. Before the UFC, before any of this stuff was about, guys wanted to be Bruce Lee.
Just a magnificent, extremely powerful being. He's someone that I strive to be like, and it just makes you feel powerless because no one's going to be like Bruce Lee, no matter how much you study or how much you know or how much you strive to be that type of person. He's just a truly extraordinary, one-of-a-kind individual.